Welcome back to Conquer and Climb. I am joined with Cro Vro and Mr. Plus. Today we are going to start off with our week in Riftbound.
Today we be going start out.
Today we be going starting off.
That's how you know we don't edit anything.
And I just want to add, Cro and Vro have not had a week in Riftbound as much.
Well, actually, that's not true. I have.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I have not had a week in Riftbound.
We've been testing on the fly.
Skip that.
No, yeah, we're not. If you guys watched last week's episode, you know that we kind of flipped our recording dates, which affected our whole layout, I guess you could say. So we went over our last two locals in the previous episode, which means we haven't had a locals since.
Yeah.
So
really no slacking, just timed and line up.
Yeah, just weird glitch in the matrix, but everything will be back to normal going forward. But so for this week, instead of our week in Riftbound and doing our normal weekly tournament report from locals, we figured we would do a little bit of a meta overview given how many events were done over this past weekend. One of which I got to cast the finals of over on Runes and Rift for their 2K Cash Up Cup, which was an excellent match. It was super good. There's so much you could learn from it. It's really honestly worth the watch, but it's very long, dude.
How
it was
long is it?
An hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. I thought you were going to say like 5 hours. I'm like,
no.
Not sitting through that.
Well, the whole event was like 13 hours.
Oh, it got condensed. I can watch that.
Yeah, but it was a crazy, awesome event. I think it was their Runes and Rift's biggest event so far in terms of participation, so that was pretty cool. And then amongst that, or aside from that rather, there was a bunch of city challenges in China. There was a Convergence tournament, which was like a Rift Atlas online tournament as well. I think there was there's like a 600 player showdown in Germany.
That's exciting.
There was the showdown in LA, which, if you again watched last week, one of our questions here posed by our local newbie was about Lilia.
Local dumbass.
I was trying to find a better way to put it, but you know, remember you asked about
is Lily the best aggro deck,
and we said
no.
Chris was the only reason we would potentially entertain the idea, and he actually went down to the Gen G, I think is what it was called, the Gen G showdown in LA, and got top 8 with Lilia. So put his money where his mouth is and kind of proved you right after all.
Did he win then?
Hey,
I didn't see the results for who ended up winning. Oh, you know what? I did see that the results were that the finals were split. I saw that online. So I'm going to say that Chris wasn't involved because he typically isn't the splitter, but maybe he just got to top 4 and that was it. But still, I mean, Lilia showed out well enough to get to the top 8 of that event, which was pretty cool.
But you know what would also be pretty funny? Is if he had to split again.
Oh yeah, because last time he was forced to back in all
Vegas.
The way at the beginning, SCG Con Vegas. But so there's a ton of events, and we just kind of wanted to do. I have it up here on my phone, just kind of like some aggregate data. Total representation. So the biggest winner as far as representation within top 8 across all the tournaments was Master Yi, still according to,
but not the XP.
Yeah, Proving Grounds Master Yi, which is this is all data that we had accumulated through Rift decks, just going off of their top 8 deck lists.
So take it with a grain of salt because they may not have all the deck lists updated.
Yeah,
uploaded.
And so we might be missing some stuff, but overall we have Master Yi as number 1, Kennen as number 2, Rengar as number 3, Aurelia as number 4, Diana as number 5, then Rek'Sai, Jace, Mel, Ezreal, and then Kai'Sa / other random decks like Lilia and some other decks that had basically like one top 8 slot across the weekend.
Would you say Rengar is so high up because he has a good answer to Kennen in the Ride to Win?
I think his
react onto the arena
popularity kind of went up because Prismat won with Rengar and he went undefeated. So it was just like after winning like 6 best of Metal Annies, everybody was waiting to see what he would go to next, and then he went to Rengar and basically said online like he was playing with ankle weights this whole time because he felt like unstoppable with the Rengar deck, which is why he didn't drop a single game. And I think that got a lot of people hyped to give
play
Rengar another
Rengar?
shot.
Wait, he has the ankle weights
He's playing Annie.
when he was
Because
playing Annie.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, he took off the
the Piccolo armor.
the Piccolo armor, the training gear,
Yeah,
He
but
did the Rocket
the
League.
weighted clothes.
yeah, so we don't have the exact all the one-ofs, but there's quite a few, like 8 or so, 8 to 10, like 15% of the total spread was like one-of legends around there. So there's quite a few legends that got up there. I know I saw like Ornn make it to top 8 in China in one of the Chinese events.
That's interesting.
Nasus actually won an event.
I feel like Nasus is good.
Yeah, Nasus, I think
I
he's
think
pretty
he's really
good. I don't think he's like great. I think that he's just a lot better than people gave
making
him
him out to
credit
be.
for in the beginning.
I think he has like one of the best combos in the game.
Yeah, the Watcher Bellows.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I hate that. Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, especially when you combine it with Temporal Breach, gets pretty nutty.
Not even just that. Just Watcher Bellows alone and being able to clear a backline is ugh.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
hate it. Thanks, I hate it.
But yeah, we wanted to do that for our like weekly review section this time. So what do you guys think about as far as like, let's go just with the top 3. Were you expecting Master Yi to still be at the top after the, best of prizing for Master Yi rotated out? There's technically not a reason to run him unless you expressly are trying to win the tournament and think that Master Yi is the best deck to do so, which apparently quite a few people did, as he ended up being the most represented across all top 8s.
Well, what I will say is that I played the Kennen deck, and as we said last episode, and that deck kind of sucks at holding, I guess, or like even breaking some big boards at times, in my opinion at least. I mean, this is like a completely newbie experience, and since a lot of the players that would be on Kennen that probably could break the Master Yi's board were also new to the deck at the time still, because it's only been out for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Master E having that ability to hold efficiently and probably just beat out Kennen's early game gives it so many extra points into it, even though Kennen has like the inverse effect as Master E, which is Assault 2, versus Master E's solo hold 2. Or
you're right. He's basically the defensive version of Kennen.
Well, but he does it for free.
Yeah.
Kennen, you have to do stuff for it. And then on top of that,
but I mean, it's stuff that you already want to be doing. So
Yeah.
it's not like a huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have to jump through like a small hoop, but it's not crazy.
And sometimes you can be a little clunky.
Yeah.
To be fair, sometimes you can be a little clunky.
And technically, he has that same hoop because he has to have a unit alone. So it's
like
yeah.
that's like
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No. I just think that Kennen as he just having like a monster creatures, having things like that stupid elephant that just says, "Oh yeah, I can't be targeted," broken, because their entire break strategy is that their creatures are kind of weenies, to be honest. When you think about it, like Rasa is a 6-drop, whereas unless you're playing Baron, but Rasa generally is like a 6-drop. The orange height is minimum 6. You know what I mean? Whereas that's just my own opinion, though.
Yeah.
I see it as even Stalwart Poro holding for 5 by itself is nuts, and that almost kills a Rasa. Yeah,
I don't think Stalwart Poro is making the cut much anymore these days, though.
Oh well. Okay, in my my boomer Yi take.
Now Lonely Poro took his spot most of the time now. I feel like.
Lonely Poro
but even then, Lonely Poro trading with Rasa 1-1 with just a discipline, so it's it's nuts.
And then you draw off the Lonely Poros.
You draw off the discipline and the Lonely Poro, so you're up tremendous. Okay.
Yeah, so Master Yi is still very good. I think most people within the community are aware that Master Yi is very strong. People have said that he's probably still the best deck, if not, top 3 for sure. So I think that was kind of the question: is how many people are still going to play him when there's no best of? Yeah. It looks like people still are at least having fun with the deck enough to keep running it or feel like that power is warranted. But then Kennen is the second most represented, and I think in one of the events, I'd have to go check Rift decks again, but I think one of the events, 5 of the top 8 were Kennen.
Ugh.
So Kennen is not only one of the most represented, and in fact, this is just top 8 representation that we were working off of for sake of simplicity. But I know that I've already seen a couple meta breakdown videos today that were saying that Kennen was the most represented deck in the room in quite a few of these tournaments.
I'm
So
surprised it's our locals too.
yeah, so
So many Kennens.
Kennen is not only high representation but also high success rate, as he was the second best performing top 8 converter. So the Kennen hype is real, and it seems to be mostly off the back of the Miracle Kennen. Most of the lists that I've seen, they're all the Miracle Kennen. I'm not seeing very many Hook Kennens. Definitely not seeing Control Kennen. A lot of people talking shit on Control Kennen, which, you know, when
Your train's gone, bro.
my initial testing of it, I was super hype on it, and I haven't really gone back to it since I've started like exploring more decks and stuff. So I would be nice to go back to it and give it another pass through the gauntlet and see how it feels. But that is not the deck that's performing. It's largely the Miracle Kennen. So how do you guys feel about that? I mean, you were just talking about how your experience with the deck kind of,
I'd have him go first though.
yeah.
Dude, I had 0 expectations for who was going to be in the meta. I was just like, I have no clue.
Yeah, you're still just
Yeah.
kind of vibing, figuring out what you want
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
guppy.
I honestly, if I was going to guess, I would have thought Mel would have been higher just because of her ability to reject spells, but I guess it's not that good in comparison
Well, it's
to...
only the signature spell. It's not necessarily.
Well, she still has Defy, right?
No.
No,
No?
she's blue-purple. So
Oh.
Bro
she...
still doesn't know what
Mm.
Defy.
Yo.
It's all right.
I'm reading
This
all the cards.
weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 days after you see this, tune into the live stream so he will not have this problem next week.
Every card in the game, I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be the expert. Anytime I'm wrong, I can be like, did you read every card in the game?
All right, that's
Drop
fair.
the link.
Drop the- Hey, you got 4 hours, bro. Maybe less. Maybe more.
I've noticed that most of the top aren't really any characters that run spells, though, which is kind of...
Well,
like,
Kennen actually.
Yeah.
Kennen runs a lot.
Yeah.
Kennen
Purple, yellow,
does,
purple.
Master Yi does, Aurelia.
They do run spells, all of them.
Yeah.
Besides maybe Rengar?
I think it's Rengar, Rek'Sai.
Rek'Sai. Wait, no, I'm thinking of them.
Yeah, Rengar, Rek'Sai are kind of the ones that are lesser on the spells usually, but the rest of them are pretty even, if not more heavily slanted split.
Spells are busted.
And then Rengar is actually third. So, well, just to finish the topic on Kennen, I know for me, like I've seen what Kennen is capable of. It's just, you know, Miracle decks can do crazy stuff. And like I said, if you guys go check that VOD of the finals for the Runes and Rift event, that Kennen player pulled off some incredible lines that I honestly didn't see coming. My co-caster didn't. I don't think a lot of chat did. There's some really cool, inventive play lines, and I think that's the kind of stuff that makes Riftbound so fun to watch and see all the innovations as they happen. And Kennen, because of the nature of the way the deck is, just with the triple stack deck and the triple lightning rush, how much filtering and searching for specific, you know, getting the correct hand texture, he just facilitates these kind of more explosive performances. But he does still have the capability to kind of low roll and draw all of your nocturnes and, you know, mill all of your Rasas. And
Yeah, I think it just depends on the build though. Like what I was gonna say is the deck feels very glass cannon-y. You know, like all Miracle decks, right? I'm assuming that all Miracle decks, if you can break their board the second they establish it, you can pretty much come back into the game. I don't know if that's a fair assessment of it, but in my own opinion, I think if you go all in on Miracle, this is why I was saying that Master Yi probably also has that, is because the counter spells that Green has at its disposal allows for a lot more interaction with the spells. So like if they're gonna go Lightning Rush, you could always counterspell the Lightning Rush, which you don't always feel great about, but sometimes that probably is the right play because it prevents filtering. It puts them one turn off of what they want to do.
Yeah, I'm wondering too whether or not people will start main boarding or sideboarding even more graveyard trash hate for Kennen, just to be able to like Gus Monk and snipe out the Lightning Rush out of trash so they only get it once.
Like the Rasa.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even if you can take out the Kennen's top end though, that's nuts. Like even if they're like, oh well, I'm putting my Baron in, like oh the Harrowing's coming out, so you're gonna snipe the Baron.
Yeah, and that's another interesting point too. Amongst all of these different Kennen lists, there was I obviously I don't have the exact data on it, but there was a pretty healthy split, I feel like, of Miracle decks with and without the Baron Harrowing package.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which is correct.
I feel like the potential to have get 3 points in one round is insane.
Yeah, that's the big thing, I
Yeah.
think, is because I feel like I've seen a lot of people say that the Baron thing is kind of like a win more.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it feels like maybe like statistically on average, it's more often a win more card, but just having access for that exact instance where you can surprise win from 5
Is insane.
is
It's
so
insane.
good. And
Yeah.
not to mention just like I've seen at least in Zed with I think it was the final video in Frodan's series of learning all of the legends for Vendetta. He did Zed, and in that video, the person who was coaching him on Zed, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name right now. He was saying that there's going to be times where you kind of get into these uncomfortable spots, or at least for like what a standard Riftbound player's mind would be considered to be uncomfortable because of how aggressively you recycle your runes to like Deathmark and stuff.
Yeah.
And like sometimes on turn 3 you go back to 0 runes and you're like, what? This doesn't feel right, but like it's the correct thing to be doing. And I felt like sometimes
That's crazy, bro.
I
that-
was gonna say that doesn't sound right.
I mean, it's an aggro deck.
Yeah.
But like 3 though is kind of crazy. I mean, I get it because like the Zed curve is probably tops 5 in
Yeah.
every version of the deck. The highest casting spell is 5. Like
Yeah.
as someone that played it, I made sure that the only 5 drop, the only highest
It's like
class spell
Darius.
is not even Darius.
Or
It's the Zed, the
Yeah.
purple Zed.
So yeah. Anyways, what I was getting at with that was just that the same can be applied to Kennen in regards to doing Harrowing plus Baron. Like even if you don't open double seal or a seal or whatever, and on turn 6 you just have your 6 runes, if you can go Harrowing Baron and recycle 5 purple and go back down to 1 rune, but now you have Baron on turn 3 with like a traveling merchant and some tentacles or something, sometimes that in and of itself is enough to really just like steal
Roll.
away a game and roll from there. So I personally would lean towards playing the Baron in Kennen, but I don't know. You played it. What did you feel like it was
It was good
win
for
more, or did you feel like you didn't like it in the deck?
No, I feel like I needed it. That's
Yeah.
the only way I got my wins.
Yeah.
It was at
Locals-
5.
at
Winning
locals,
for 5
the-
points.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Kennons that were running Baron were just doing better.
Yeah.
But I still think that it comes with more so like not acknowledgement, but getting used to the metagame, because I think that this new set added so many graveyard hate cards that
Yeah.
I mean, surely there's a way to snipe cards in the graveyard and like
Yeah,
you could just
they-
add more cards.
You have
in.
Gus Monk. I mean, last set I think it was you had Disposal Order. Really you want stuff that banishes more than recycles. There are a couple things that recycle stuff from your opponent's trash, like the yellow 2-mana gear that makes a recruit when you play it, and then recycles 4 from the trash, from any trashes. So you can recycle your opponent's stuff too. So there's some stuff to deal with the trash, but
Even taking them off taking them off shovel, or like forcing them to keep re-equipping shovel by like interacting with their board and just whittling down their graveyard. Like if you can do that, I think that Kennen deck doesn't stand a chance because it's so dependent on the field.
Well,
of
yeah,
trash.
and this is kind of like also early days. This is like we just said earlier, like the second week or whatever since Vendetta. I mean, has it been longer than that?
I mean, I guess this is week 3, right?
Week 3, yeah. So Vendetta's been out for a little bit now, but I mean, it's still early days of the format, so I think it'll probably take a little bit more time to really dial everything in and have people adjust and learn to play around Kennen, start building their sideboards more geared towards hating on Kennen.
There's still potential for a lot of change.
Yeah.
A lot can move around, yeah.
So, I think that's probably about it in regards to Kennen talks. But the third place is Rengar, which we briefly touched on the why that kind of might be. But even outside of that, like the Prismat influence, I do think Rengar is just a strong deck. Like, at least ever since I first tried it, which was the the Sunday of the championship Sunday of Vancouver, when I saw Sam Sherman making this great run, I was already out of the event, and I'm back at the Airbnb. I was like, I'm gonna put this Rengar deck together, and I've been, you know, tinkering with it ever since, like here and there. I played it at locals, probably more so than a lot of other decks. Like usually I play like a deck one time at locals and then I switch the next week. But Rengar kept was so fun that I kept playing him multiple times and just felt so good, so strong. And I think that's been kind of apparent now to see his recent success
Oh, he's doing, yeah.
that he really is not just like a fun deck, but he is a strong deck. And he's who I was telling you before we started recording this. We're talking about what to play next, and I was saying that you should probably try Rengar out. I mean, given that you've been more gravitating towards the more aggressive conquering focused decks, I think you'd probably enjoy Rengar a lot. So, what about you? I mean, you tried Rengar like once or twice, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Rengar as a whole? And do you think that this third place spot is justified, or is it just the Prismat hype?
I think that it's justified because I know what it can do. You know, if that makes sense. Like, Irresistible Fate Folk is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, I saw somebody posting online like they were like current state of Riftbound, and it was just like I hope my opponent doesn't promising future on 2. I hope my opponent doesn't Fey Folk on 1. I hope my opponent doesn't, and it's like all of like some of the best plays that you could be doing in the game right now. And when I saw the Fey Folk on 1, I was like, yeah, dude, I don't know how many games I've been in where like I'm going second and they play Fey Folk on turn 1, and I'm like, well, I guess I can't do anything. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna wait
it
another
feels
turn.
so oppressive to have Fey Folk come down on turn 1 when you're going second.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of cards like that and effects that Rengar has that other decks just don't. So I know the Rengar deck doesn't play Falling Star anymore,
No.
but they do have Fey Folk, which is another charm effect that gets rid of backline, and then on top of that, their combat tricks just simply don't get counterspelled, and they're above rate.
No.
So initially, your Nidalee is like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Nidalee's on 3. Nidalee costs 3, and it is 4 might or 3 might.
4 might, but then with the
But
Rengar
then with the
buff,
Rengar effect, it's 5 might,
Yeah.
and suddenly it's 10 times better than it was before.
Yeah.
Not 10 times.
And then
but
you
know what I mean.
still have Punch First.
You still have access to Punch First. Sabotage, the only card in the game that gives you
Sabotage
the
is great.
effect of Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
Except it's not really Thoughtseize, it's more like Duress because it's only spells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
it's recycled.
so even cards like that where you can stall your opponent. Thrill the Hunt is a hell of a card.
Yeah, Thrill the
Thrill
Hunt's
the Hunt
excellent.
just being able to be like, oh well, this is
Oh, you
Ride
know
the
what?
Wind in red and yellow.
I'm glad you said that, because I was just about to say that I think some of the rhetoric over this past weekend, given how successful Kennen was and Aurelia and Diana, is that set 4, if anything was like the biggest winner of set 4, it's Ride the Wind. Ride the Wind has been like making a comeback with a vengeance and been seeing so much play across all these decks. I know you've always been a Ride the Wind enjoyer, so Ride the Wind has been putting in so much work, and Rengar is not in purple, can't play Ride the Wind, but he does get his signature spell, which is almost as good, and if not, sometimes better. So definitely think Rengar's position is justified. And then after that's the usual suspects: Aurelia, Diana. Diana, of course, was in the finals against the Kennen and Runes and Rift, and very strong performance there as well. And then Rek'Sai has been doing a lot lately. Rek'Sai has been seeing a lot of success, and he's another one that you were curious about, and we actually tested it a little bit.
I played a little today. I liked it, but I don't think I was as big of a fan as I thought I would be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like you really gotta hit the you gotta hit.
You weren't like liking the look at the top 2 thing.
Yeah. It felt like it was very gambly, which I kind of went in knowing, but it was like it was just so frustrating.
Yeah,
when you go
you
to
got-
gamble and yeah.
Yeah, you got to like the casino decks, which means you probably won't like the Miracle Engine and burning your stuff and hoping to hit what you need to hit too.
No.
Yeah.
I like more consistency. I think I like to.
Yeah, so I think you'll like the Rengar, but Rek'Sai's been pretty impressive, so that's cool to see that he's up there as the sixth, at least given what we're looking at, the sixth highest representation in top eights across this past weekend. And then Jace, which we all kind of were expecting that Aurora was not going to go away. It has seen a diminished representation in the meta because there's so much more hate for Aurora now, especially given how good some of these red decks are doing, like Rengar and Rek'Sai that now got Brittle Steel, which is super good because you can't even like snipe it out of their hand. Like if you make them discard it, it has flow, so they can just
Play
use it again.
Yeah.
So Brittle Steel has been super good, and I mean you can even play around that. Like Sabotage is the big one. That's Aurora's best defense against Aurora hate cards, is looking at your hand and taking out the hate spell. But you can just discard it to the trash where they can't touch it and then play it. Although technically they can touch it. We talked about disposal order earlier, so there's ways to get around it. But
that's a purple card, right?
Orange.
Oh, it's an orange card.
Yeah. So
or doesn't know disposal order. You gotta read all the cards, bro.
My bad.
Hey, cancel the contract. You gotta sit next to me, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but we got the
That's crazy.
we got Aurora.
At least I know the five.
We got Aurora only in the form of Jace, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sivir Auroras are still running around, and because Sivir does still have a best of available, so I'm sure you'll see some Sivir Auroras still making the play. But I think just the explosiveness of Jace Aurora and being able to temporal breach your Elder Dragon and do the Promising Future shenanigans.
Dude, Blue has got some good cards.
Yeah, you've been saying how you actually like Blue is probably your favorite domain so far.
Yeah, they got some good cards, bro. I didn't realize how good the what is that Time Boy called?
Echo?
Time Boy, the Echo card, where
Yeah.
you play a second turn. I didn't realize how much pop up. I thought it was gonna be a bad card because I'm like too expensive.
Oh, Time Warp.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that card's too
Time
expensive. I'd never use it. I got one off today during testing, and I was like, I love this card.
Yeah.
Dude, I want this card in all my decks. Bro.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so
Valley.
you're a big Blue fan, which is cool. Hopefully we'll find a Blue deck that vibes with you. But yeah, Jace is kind of expected. I assumed people were going to try to push Jace as the premier Aurora deck, so if Aurora was going to see success, it would probably be at the hands of Jace, so I'm not super surprised to see him there. And then after that, though, a little bit more surprising is our two blue-purple legends coming and rounding out the bottom end of our curve is Mel and Ezreal having similar representations in top 8, maybe one deck difference between them, but both of them blue-purple, both of them control typically, doing similar things, at least in concept, but in execution very different because Ezreals are still pretty much, to my knowledge, playing exclusively Pack Ezreal, Pack Bewitching Spirit, whereas Mel is not playing Pack Bewitching Spirit, and she's just kind of going all in on her spells with the researchers, the make everything cheaper unit when you empower it.
And once you get that going,
it does
it's hard to
feel
stop
very good. Because,
yeah.
I mean, some of the best things that, like, as the Ezreal deck that Alan ZQ made famous was doing was off the back of Vex Cheerless. And Vex Cheerless, had to be in combat.
Mhm.
But the plus side of that was it made all their stuff more expensive and your stuff cheaper. But, I mean, he pulled off so many great lines just because of that reduction in cost from the Vex Cheerless. And that's with the restriction of having to play down the unit and then next turn send it in and have it fight in a combat.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are talking about how, like, the applied researchers, you don't get immediate value the turn you play it either, because you have to play it and the next turn empower it. It's a huge investment.
And it's up.
It is a bigger investment than the Vex, and it's more fragile because Vex is a 5-might body.
Okay.
But ultimately, like, once you have that thing going, Like if you can get it to survive a turn cycle, it feels nuts.
Yeah.
It's kind of like back in set 1 when they were like, yeah, if you get to untap your turn and you still have Darius on board, and now you get to go Darius and then restand him and have him do crazy stuff, you're like, well, I got this in the bag.
Yeah.
And it feels like that sometimes with applied researchers too, where like, oh, I get another turn with this card on board?
You're going to let me keep that?
With a full salvo of energy this time? Like, it feels so good. So I can see the vision for Mel, but it's whether or not it's consistently executable or not.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, seeing that both of those decks did make some kind of representation means that they're not out of they're not out of the question yet. Yeah. Even though they're seem to have dropped pretty low in overall placing, I still think both of those decks are pretty strong, and I've been wanting to play the Ezreal deck for so long. I bought the overnumber Ezreal Legend. Like I have everything.
Dude, you got to do it before it's too late.
I have everything ready for it, and I just never put it together and play it. And I don't know why, but I should do that soon. I'm still going through all the Vendetta Legends though, but it's definitely a deck I want to mess with. I like the Bewitching Spirit. It's my favorite card.
And what I will add is that the only like unique domain in that entire thing, or at least I'd say like combination, is like Rek'Sai.
Oh, the red, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that it's like there's like one color that's not represented there, right?
Green, yellow.
Green.
But I'm
no,
pretty
not domain, but I'm talking just like straight one color, right? Because there's only orange,
green, orange, red, purple.
I guess they're all represented.
Yeah, they're all there.
Okay. Because I was gonna say it's like clearly you can see that purple is still probably one of the best domains out of them all, and then on top of that, there's like green, and then outside of that, purple, blue seems to be pretty good. Not as good as it was, but Rek'Sai does stand out the most to me compared to the other decks.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because
it's like against the grain. It's
it's like completely against it too. Like
it's only Swarm deck in the meta as well.
Yeah, it doesn't have orange, which is like
I think it's purely the pop-up potential it has. I think that it's like you have to get lucky consistently. I don't know if you could play it perfectly and make it. I know like I literally had a take where it's like Chuds blame the pull, but I think that whole thing is pulling good. I think that's the whole deck.
Well, you could also mitigate that, I think.
Mitigate that a little bit. I'm not sure what the Rek'Sai decks are looking like these days, but at least when I played against them, they're like super 2 costs dense. Like there's a ton of 2 costs in them, so it's like you're almost very close to guaranteed to almost always hitting a playable card off of the legend effect.
It might have been the list I was playing then.
Yeah, it could be, but I don't have a lot of experience playing Rek'Sai either, so it's kind of hard for me to say, just kind of based on what I've watched.
And I don't know what I'm talking about.
But
no, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
well, in this, like especially, it's just like there's a lot of. I would say that the most represented domain is blue, purple. I think like the other one that's just highly represented, but I don't think outside of Master Yi, that one Master Yi gets like any points is the green orange, because green orange has Yi, it has Jax, and it has other Yi. That's it. And Jax and Yi, other Yi just don't. Oh, and then there's one more from Origins.
Yeah.
Oh, Lee Sin. The
GOAT.
None of them show up. None of them represent. None of them pull up. And
whereas blue purple, you have high representation of Diana, Mel, and Ezreal. Like all of the blue purple legends are doing.
Yeah, except the only one you're missing is Teemo.
But and Teemo even is probably not like completely out of the question of being
broken,
meta relevant. Like I'm sure there's a Teemo build that is good, but he's in that category of he has no best of anymore, so why play him? Like Master Yi is different because he's so much more powerful than all the other decks in the game, basically, or so many of the decks in the game,
or perceived to be. I should say.
Yeah, but because of that, like people will play him even without the best of, because you still
have a chance of taking the tournament. They're gonna play the best of.
Whereas like Teemo is probably like maybe he could be good enough to get you to top 8, but like you're not even confident on that. Probably you're definitely not confident in winning the whole thing with it.
Yeah.
And without a best of kicker, there's no reason to register it. And I think that's going to happen with a lot of the set 1 legends going forward.
A little unfortunate. I wish they would have the eternal, like they would have the best of for as long as they're out.
Yeah.
But this is like a pseudo rotation, I guess.
But in a way, like, I feel like that almost makes it cooler for in the future if somebody does take down a whole event with set 1 legend when there was like, there was no incentive to play this other than just winning the whole thing. And I was so confident in my ability to do that. I freaking won the whole thing with
plus aura.
Yeah.
Plus aura.
I just think that has the potential to maybe be something cool in the future. But yeah, I generally like the best of system and how it encourages diversity, but this is, I guess, the drawback of it, and on the tail end is when they rotate out. Now all of a sudden people stop playing that. But the legend is still available, so like at least if you do want to play it, you can.
Yeah, if you're huffing enough crack, you'll one day come up with the Teemo 50, 53 because of the battlefields.
Man, shut up.
Plus the runes.
Yeah,
65. Teemo 65.
The Teemo 65. Yeah.
You have the Teemo 65 where you have the secret
that
sauce.
Could be you, bro.
Cook people.
That could be you.
Nah, I'm not playing unless it's a best of. I don't smoke crack.
Yeah. Well, that kind of brings us into that might dovetail us nicely into our main topic of the pod.
Bro, why haven't you chosen a deck yet? Yes. Oh my God, you were the Zetter, you were the Kennener, you were the Yi. What are you, bro? You're nothing.
I have no identity. I'm going through an identity crisis.
Explain that.
So, exactly what we were just describing, how there was... How many? 7? 8? I can't do quick math.
There's at least 10 plus legends that made top 8 this weekend.
So there's at least. So there's too many options to pick from. Like, I can't pick just Rengar. There's also nothing that's like just like itching a certain part of my brain. You know what I mean? Like the only thing that comes close is maybe Diana, only because it Fab reference. It reminds me a little bit of Icelander because you get the free resource, so you're encouraged to play on your opponent's turn. But the thing is that it's just not the same. There's nothing that's like super itching a certain part of my brain because either there's multiple that do the exact same thing. Yi still is like probably my GOAT because it's the only thing that lets me do what I want to do from League of Legends in Riftbound, which is just stack a bunch of points and
it was fun when I was playing it. When we were testing earlier, I did enjoy it.
I feel like Nasus when I don't have to play the Nasus deck.
Yeah.
And it's like the only other thing that might tickle another itch of my brain that isn't only competitive but also seems like really fun is Diana. Maybe Irelia, maybe Rengar. See, that's what I mean. Is like all three of them sound super fun to play. They attack on different axes.
But Master Yi, when you
get to the 16, baby.
Yeah, bro. even when you get to 11 and you get 6 mana 13/13 that comes in ready,
and
he was like, "What? What was that?" And I hit him. Yeah, I hit him with the Alpha Strike too.
Oh!
And he had he was testing the Renata, and I suicided the Scuttle, so it revealed his hidden card. So I knew it was hostile takeover. So I'm like, he had a huge hold on the board, and I was at like 14 XP.
Dude, I thought I was gonna win. I
told him, I'm like, if you have Time Warp here, I can't do anything. You're gonna win next turn. So all I could do is pass and hope you don't have Time Warp. And he didn't have the Time Warp. So then the following turn, I was able to get to 16 XP and then drop a second Yi and attack for 26 at his...
Two Yis at 16 XP, bro.
Yeah.
And he did the freaking slash move, bro. Yeah. I was just standing there getting like... Dude, I had to take it, bro. It was miserable, bro.
That's what I mean, though. Is like that deck. I think so. The only reason why they can't print more XP cards is because of that deck. Because the late game that deck offers is like unbeatable. It's unbeatable.
That's where the flavor
of... That's a lie.
Yeah, but I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, that's where the flavor of League of Legends really comes across, where it feels like, oh yeah, this is what happens if you let Yi scale into the late game and become hyper fed. Yeah.
Who fed the Yi,
you're just like, wait, why is this guy just running around doing whatever he wants? Like,
I will say that the strategy, though, of like you have to go to your arena to stack XP is very negatable. Like, it's very negatable.
That's why he's not super popular.
Yeah.
Like, he started playing around it really quickly and making it really difficult, and he took a couple games, and I was like, Yeah, I can see why this deck still has room to grow, but like it definitely is going to be something if they give it more XP support, I think.
Surely Radiance has XP cards.
Yeah.
Please, for the love of God. It's not happening,
Dude,
bro.
remember when we read that report and the guys like we didn't know the direction? Wasn't that one an early print?
No. They were just more like they said mainly if it fits in the flavor of the set.
Radiance.
No, but Echo's a jungler, so he needs XP, right?
Yeah.
Because what's it
But
called?
he's
Unleashed
already
was
an
all the jungler.
Power Legend.
No. But he's a
It's gonna be
jungle.
all-time
But he's in the
cards, bro.
jungle, bro. But he's in the jungle. It's
He's mid laner Yi. Sorry, or mid laner Echo.
Mid laner Echo. What a loser.
I think XP is gonna be forgotten, bro.
No,
just because it feels
forgotten.
it feels so different from everything else in the game.
But it's so ingrained into what League of Legends is. You know what I mean? Like even the XP legends that are out right now, like Poppy, Kha'Zix, Yi, I think the second they do like another jungle themed set and they decide we're gonna bring back the boss monsters, we're gonna bring back because they added Ocean Drake, they still and Chemtech Drake, so they still gotta add Mountain Drake. They still gotta add
Chemtech Drake.
I think so, or Corrupted Drake. It's called
Yeah.
Corrupted Drake, but I'm pretty sure isn't Chemtech and
I don't think so. I think
it's
that's
different.
the corrupted one's like a Shadow Isles Drake or something. It's probably some shit from
Dude,
the lore.
Bro,
I did not
you gotta
watch
hop back
Arcane.
on the lore, bro.
I did not watch
Yeah.
Arcane. I did not watch Arcane.
Well, it's not in Arcane either, so don't
I
worry
still
about
didn't watch Arcane.
Yeah. Chemtech is the Noxus one in the ice area
it.
where the Yordles live in the fire.
Oh, he's just making
Now
stuff
he's
up
just
now.
making stuff up on the phrase.
Wait, so the main topic was what?
Oh, dude, analysis paralysis. Dude, I'm in the same boat.
not analysis paralysis, decision paralysis.
Okay, well, I'm in the
That's
same
kind
boat.
of the same thing.
It's the same.
No,
That's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You said the same thing
Actually-
twice. You said the same thing, but I'm in the same boat because I've been like testing.
Trying to
decks.
pick a
Yeah.
deck, basically. Like what is your main?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it feels hard because it's like like you were saying, nothing is like super making me feel like this is the one.
Nothing is
Well,
clicked
no,
yet.
it's
Yeah.
not even just like it's the one. It's just like all these decks are so cool to a certain degree. Like
That-
I want to
that's
play a
my
Call
problem
too.
is that I'm like I have fun with so many of them, and I'm like, oh dang, I like playing
Well,
this. I want to play it for a
This is
little
the
bit.
problem I was having earlier today. We're not at Glass. I was having so much fun, and as I was playing, I realized I'll never win if I play this legend. It's like I'll
Win a
never be.
tournament.
I won't have the ability to conquer. You know, it's like I'm at a
No,
disadvantage.
no, see
innately.
that you got to become the one trick.
The one trick.
Yeah.
The one.
Well, that's actually a good question, I guess, as we're talking about like deck selection, just tangentially related to that. Are you the type of person that would all in on one deck? Like if you found a deck that just
Yes.
like it
that's
clicked
what
with
I
you,
did. That's what I did in Fab.
yeah, so you would just one trick it and just become like, all right, my whole goal is to be the best player at this deck and I'll win a best up with it.
Yeah, I mean, my goal would just be to
Yeah.
get as good as possible until the reset, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? Would you still bounce around decks, or do you think if you found a deck that truly like spoke to you, that you would just lock in and
dude,
be like,
if it was the deck that spoke to me like 100%, yes. The
Yeah.
problem is that there's nothing like that because it's like,
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm like a hoe for all these decks. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, this deck seems so cool. I
You're
love
the
that.
you're the meme of looking over the shoulder at the next deck, like
Yeah,
you're
I'm sitting
holding
there,
hands
and
with
Rengar-
the
yeah,
one.
no, I'm sitting there. I'm playing Zed. I'm like, oh, this deck is so sick. And then Rengar's like, hey.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I guess I'm.
Rengar walks by and you're like,
And Zed's looking. And Zed's just like sitting there, and they catch me. I'm like, sorry, Zed. Rengar
Yeah.
was cooler. After that, Diana. I'm like, Diana's cooler. Sorry, Rengar.
Yeah.
And then you end up with no decks, and the reset happens, and it's all new legends.
And then it's got the same thing all over again. The Echo deck looks sick, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, the Echo deck's too cool.
So then what is
Cho'Gath just
your
dropped.
what's kind of your like initial thought on the I guess the main topic on what our question is, and just the idea of decision paralysis when it comes to
I hate it.
picking a deck.
I hate it because at least in like it's weird because there's two other factors, which is like price tag too of the decks. The prices of these decks are a lot more expensive than the prices of what they used to be like. You know what I mean? Like Top Azir was like probably at its lowest, like under $100, like $80 maybe, because most of it was bulk. But now with the addition of so many rares and everything, and even though some of them are bulk rares, the decks are still like crossing the $100 mark to play, which is kind of
I've
rough.
seen a lot of 200s to 400s.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
especially Kennen. Kennen's the most expensive and it's close to 5,
Mm-hmm.
which is a little frustrating because you're like, oh, I want to play the game, and they're doing so. But what's nice is that they're doing so much to make it affordable.
And it's mostly because of the Origins cards, though.
Yeah.
Like, the expensive cards are the seals. Now Ross's are becoming expensive.
Lightning Flow.
Lightning Flow is actually not that bad. Lightning Rush, you mean?
Lightning Rush, yeah.
It's mostly the Origins stuff, like the Falling Stars.
Man, we gotta get an Origins box and open it. Damn.
Yeah. No, bro, you cannot justify an Origins box.
We gotta open.
But what was your thoughts like because you were kind of, well, I guess it was more your.
Yeah, because I mean, like, the only thing that was holding me back in like Fab from building every single deck was the fact that
it's so expensive.
It's so expensive. Yeah. So if there was a class that I didn't like buy the card, like the initial staples for, I was just cooked, and I was like, well, I'm never gonna touch it anyway.
So you could just be a hoe and play all the decks, bro.
But where do you stand in terms of like the decision paralysis thing with selecting a deck? Is it like the monetary thing or the fun? Well, yeah, I guess we should kind of like. I mean, obviously that's the thing. Like we can't. It's unavoidable. That's one of the. I guess you could call it a pitfall of the hobby of trading card games. They're just it can be expensive.
If I had a better job and I had like good hours, I would probably be buying decks like that. But I work food service part time, bro. Like I'm not out here slinging the cash.
Which is like no shade for anybody. Obviously, like some people come to locals with their budget deck because that's what they can afford, and they're just looking to have a good time, which is cool. But like for us who are trying to conquer, climb, and
part
get
of me,
better,
the fun is the competitive side. I want to have the ability to win and be competitive against the higher level decks. So I don't want to just get like a half big deck.
So like for the purposes of our discussion, if we can take the money part out of it and just go based off of like what is it that you're using to like kind of decide for your deck choice and like everything that is kind of making you at this point where you're feeling overwhelmed.
Honestly, it's the number of legends because I feel like that I haven't found the one yet. Because it's like I've played so many and I've liked so many.
There are a lot.
There's a lot. So it's like I haven't even experimented with XP. I haven't played any orange decks yet. So I definitely haven't touched all the color combinations. So to me, it's like, am I going to go all in and spend $200 to $400 on a deck when I don't even know what's out there?
Like to put it into perspective, right?
Yeah.
When this game came out, it debuted with 16 legends, which when we started playing Flesh and Blood, and there was when I started playing Flesh and Blood, it was only Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising and Crucible, which Crucible didn't give us a new hero. So there was only there are only 8 decks, 8 leaders in those first 2 sets. And we had 16 just in the first set.
Yeah.
And then we got another 12 in the following set.
It's a good thing.
Another 12 in the following set. And then another 9 this set. So we've gotten in total like 48 legends.
Yeah, and I think they have to do that because the fan base is so big.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to see their favorite legend.
And because of all the color combinations and everything. But yeah, 48 legends at set 4
is insane.
Is a lot to digest and be like, what do I pick?
And to be fair, you can, if you are playing to be competitive, you can probably slash out a good number right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm probably not going to check out Garen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, well, I got to try this Garen guy out before I buy a deck.
Yeah, well, he's my first champ I ever played in League. I have to try Garen.
I got to try Garen.
Yeah.
We're playing Shen.
Well, I mean, House is our biggest playing Shen because he said that was his League main. Like, he has, like, thousands of hours of Shen gameplay or something, so that's why he's making himself go for best of Shen. So I mean, that's not completely an invalid reason to play a legend either.
No, yeah.
That's like I think that the fact that the best of system exists though allows for like the pseudo rotations so that you can also slash out a couple of legends because I don't think there's any shame in even doing the best of sprint or run, whatever you want to call it, because that in and of itself is a competitive thing that you can go towards with maybe not like cash money, but money nonetheless.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's kind of what I've been leaning towards, honestly. I was thinking like per set, I just build a new deck and then play for best of.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of where my mind's going.
We're sticking to the green yellows.
We're gonna be hoes.
I think we all kind of are, to be honest. I mean, for me, like I wanted to do the best of thing. Like I know coming from Flesh and Blood, there were times in my Fab career where all I wanted to do was be like the best player on a certain deck.
Yeah, but you don't get rewarded for it.
Yeah, where I'm like, I just want to be the only person doing well with Hatchet Story or whatever. And this game actually promotes that gameplay, and I haven't found.
I thought you were doing it with Pike. No?
Well, no, Pike was basically like, he wasn't even my first choice, honestly. When set 3 got announced and Pike was revealed as the red purple legend, I had been a red purple main up until that point, and I saw Pike and I was like, ugh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I thought his power was kind of lame. And I don't like Pike in League that much.
I thought you did.
No, I mean, I've never really been a support main. Like, I've supported my fair share. Trust me, I played in the early days where you just had the
support main,
where you just run into the before you had roll queue and you just got into a ranked lobby and you're like, all right, I'm gonna control V bottom lane as fast as possible, and then somebody else somehow loaded in faster than you, and you're like, guess I'm support. So I've supported, and
never catch me supporting.
But I'm not. I've never been like super huge for Pike. But the one thing that drew me to Pike was how sick his overnumber art was. His overnumber is amazing, and that kind of like brought me back in. And that's similarly what happened with this set, where I was like, I don't think I like Zed that much. Like, I think Zed's a cool champion in League. He's super sick. Some of the coolest League of Legends videos you ever see will be Faker outplays on Zed.
Faker.
But I wasn't like super huge on, at least initially when I saw him, I was like, oh, a mill deck. I don't know if I'm gonna like self mill. I mean, I played Chain, but I was never like a fucking Chain fanatic.
It's not even the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. But anyways, his overnumber similarly was like, oh, that might be reason enough to play him right there. His overnumber is sick, but I just can't do it, man. The more I've tried Zed, the more I'm just like, this is not. I don't know. This is not, doesn't click with me.
I hate the purple card pool.
Which is kind of what happened too with Kha'Zix back in last set. Like, people were talking about how good Kha'Zix was, and I love Kha'Zix in League. I think Kha'Zix is super sick. Him and Rengar are some of my favorite junglers in League. So I like the purple-orange color pool. So I was hyped for Kha'Zix, but every time I played him, like, I don't know what it was. It just wasn't.
It just doesn't jive.
It wasn't jiving.
Yeah.
And I haven't
You're kind of with us. You're kind of in the analysis paralysis pool.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I was like in agreement of that this should be our topic, because I'm like also like I said, every week I'm playing a different deck at locals and I haven't found anything. But I think part of that also comes with no imminent big tournament on the horizon for us. Like for myself, I can only speak for myself, but typically like I lock in on a deck once I
know you want to go to a tournament.
I'm going somewhere. Like when I knew I was going to Vancouver, I'm like, okay, I need to pick a deck and just grind it. And that's what I did with Pike. And this time around, like, because we haven't gotten into LA yet, hopefully, and I didn't get into the Gen G showdown from this past weekend.
Please, Riot.
And I have no other like big events at least looming on the horizon where I need to be super like dialed in on a deck. I haven't really taken that leap, but I've just kind of been, being a hoe too.
Do you think we'll lock in, me and Will, when we see that there's an event? We're just gonna be like,
yeah, I mean,
I kid you not, I'm gonna be sitting there and be like, should I play the blue-purple deck, or should I play the red-green deck, or should I play the green-yellow deck?
You're gonna change your mind the night before the tournament.
I know, yeah. I'm like, which one
that's
are
Chris's
less
special.
fun?
That's what he always used to do, the 10 minutes before you had to submit your deck list for the tournament and be like, all right, this is what I'm playing.
Well, it's just like there's just too many. It's the worst part is because there's too many good things, and there's also too many rewards for what it is. So, like, if beforehand I go into it, if there's a deck that I fell in love with and I'm like, wow, this is what I'm playing, yeah, I'll lock in on it. But the problem is that in this case, I'm like, all right, which shitty deck am I playing? Ivern, Shen, or Master Yi, the XP Yi. You know what I mean? Like,
but why are you deciding you have to play a bad deck?
Because I want just the best of card.
But you don't have to. You can play a more competitive best of, right? It doesn't have to be the worst of the worst. Like you could.
No. But the thing is, I mean, yeah, I could technically be playing.
Like, dude, if you, this is my thing. This is my thing, right? If we go into a tournament with Ivern, we're just gonna be sitting there losing and then hoping we get one round out to get best of.
Right? No.
Like, that would be miserable.
I'm pretty sure Ivern still has good matchups into some of the field.
Yeah, probably much better now with Vendetta.
Yeah, there's a lot of good cards that Ivan got. Especially cats. They got 8-drop Nasus, bro.
Dude, Nasus is there.
He's a dog.
He is a dog. He's got that
the
dog
Astral Heron is what you got. Astral Heron is crazy.
What do you mean? I don't care about the bird. I care about the dog.
Well, I guess so. The topic was, decision paralysis, right? So we kind of talked about like where it comes from, I guess, for each of us.
For me, it's just there's too many bad decks to like get best of on.
But like what ultimately, like, to kind of round out the whole conversation, I guess, like, what is our takeaway, our point, our solution? Like, how do you overcome the
don't worry about it. I think don't worry about it.
You just playing.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fair answer. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point. We're varying like experience levels and everything. So.
I think for me, once I have experienced more of the game, I'll come to a natural conclusion. And I think rushing it will just make me salty because I spent $200 to $400 on a deck I don't like. You know, so it's like I shouldn't rush into it because then it's gonna affect my game in a negative way.
Well, that's a good point. That's a unique perspective for you because you haven't invested in anything yet. Mm-hmm. Like myself, being in since set 1, I have so much investment in the game already. I'm able to kind of like jump from deck to deck more easily and build new decks because I have most of the card pool. So that's kind of where our issues differ in that regard. But as far as like the actual decision making process, like of picking a deck, like if I told you I could build you whatever deck you wanted, so that's not a factor. Like, do you think that you could overcome the decision paralysis? And
I would just say I'm going to play Nasus, or like then I was going to be like, I'm going to try Mel now. Like, I would just do that. I just play like the most expensive, most competitive decks, and then rip it.
So you don't think that you would end up like because of just there's 48 of them, you'd be perpetually cycling through and trying to find.
Like, I'm playing the goats. Yeah. I'm playing the goats, and I'm going to rip the goats.
So you'd be a meta slave. You'd go
probably.
What about you?
There's like an itch in my mind that says I have to either build something completely new and different, or just be like slightly under the meta.
Bro does not believe in himself.
No, not it's not for the best of. It's for the sake of like
playing the
Tyler Horsepool put it this way: the best decks and the decks that win tournaments do something different most of the time. But and honestly, as I play more, I'm like, the decks that win never do anything different. So it's cope, but it's also kind of real because if you can walk away from the event with like not necessarily the best of, but the most unique take of the same deck, and you make it and you make the run towards it, even if it's a deck that somebody completely wrote off, if you can make the run with it, that's like incredible. That's like that puts it on the map. That's a better feeling than even winning the event because you're the only person walking into that event with a new idea.
I was gonna say you probably can't just have a unique deck. You have to be like, I think you have to analyze the meta if you're doing something like that. You have to build specifically to play against what's popular.
But it is
you're still a slave in a way. You're still like a slave to the meta.
No. Well, you're a slave. You're
counterpicking everything.
You're a slave to the meta in the regard that what's it called? You're always going to be a slave to the meta if you want to win an event because you have to analyze it. In that regard, you're analyzing it, and then you just get caught up in like.
But
all right, but what if
there's a difference between that and just like picking whatever the best. Like, oh, Master Yi is the best deck right now. Okay, let me just look up what the most winningest Master Yi deck is and play that.
You know what part of that is though for me? Yeah. I feel like since I haven't ever built a deck, that's scary. So I'm just like, that one won.
Well, I know like the feeling you were talking about. Like that's what had was going through my mind that whole run at Pro Tour LA when I played the Dio deck that our team had worked on so aggressively leading into that event. I mean, Tyler headed most of that. Yeah. And we ended up running, I think, the exact same list. But like when I was like day 2, like 9-1, sitting at like table 2, I'm like, oh crap! Like this is my run. Like I could do this, and then I proceed to punt it away and barely squeak into like top 20 something or whatever.
But it's still okay.
But like that was part of the reason was like there were no other Dios anywhere near me. Yeah. Like I was the one Dio at the top of the pool, and that in and of itself was like an achievement. Yeah. And that's what the best of reward you like. That tournament, I would have probably won best of Dio, but I wasn't. Oh no, you would have. Yeah, they didn't have that then, or they don't have that in that game. Yeah. But like, I think that feeling and chasing that is definitely a valid reason to pick a deck. Like, not to go into what you were saying about purposely pick the shittiest deck possible. But like, if you find a deck that you really do like,
you're still trying to beat yourself and craft the best deck and be competitive, so it still has that satisfaction.
Like I won't even lie to you. If I ended up sitting there down and I'm like, wow, this Diana deck is actually sick, I'm gonna play Diana, then I'm probably gonna play Diana. Like I will still stick to, in this game at least, I will stick to whatever deck I find the most enjoyment in, because the point at the end of the game, I don't want to be sitting in round 15 playing a deck that's like, it's really good, but I'm not having any fun playing it. You know what I mean? I'd rather have to 0-2 drop because I played the deck that I actually enjoyed and I enjoyed losing with, than being in round 15 in the deepest run of my life and sitting down and being like, well, I guess I got to do the thing again.
Yeah.
Playing Miracle Kennen, doing the exact same game plan, but with like different variants in the sense of, like the deck doesn't play itself once again. But it's just like, that's just not what I enjoy. I don't enjoy playing something like that. I'd rather
also addendum that I was in the calling, not the Pro Tour at that event, but still,
still cool.
It was still hype. That was before the bans.
Yeah.
So that was when we were rocking the Pony Puddle special with Toma Fiendal and Mage Master boots and Dio. There's just so many people that tournament were like, wait, what? What? Heal for 6, gain 6 life, 6 card hand and Dio. And you hit Cerebellum Processor off the top, you're like, what is happening? I'm getting destroyed. But enough fab talk.
What did you just say?
Yeah. You played fab.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I guess that's a good enough reason to close it on up, I think, for this week's episode. So basically our takeaway from the decision paralysis is that, like,
do what you love.
Well,
follow your heart, man.
It really comes from the fact that there's so many legends,
you just have to take your time.
And there's so many fun ones. There's so many good ones. Like, it's just we're spoiled with options, basically.
Learn the game, take your time.
So it's not, if you're feeling overwhelmed by the amount of legends and decks available and like not knowing what to pick, don't feel like that's a unique thing. I think that's probably a huge thing across Riftbound in general because of the unique state that Riftbound occupies.
And that's why we have online clients. Just abuse the online clients. So you can
test that, Go on Rift Atlas, go on TCG Arena, Tabletop Simulator, whatever you can do, print out proxies.
And that's also why each color combination, each deck kind of plays completely differently from each other. Like Ivern doesn't play anything like Shen. Shen doesn't play anything like Azir, and Azir plays nothing like Leona.
Which, I think that is great for the game to have so much diversity. And so if you're worried about this topic like we were and why we wanted to bring it up, just know that you're not ever wrong for picking the deck that you want to play in a game that rewards you for being the best of that deck. Now, if your best of has rotated out, maybe you're wrong. But if you're playing in an event with the best of pricing and you can pick one of the 32 available legends with a best of pricing, even if one of them is way at the bottom tier, you can still be the best at it. I mean, we saw at the Ottawa Showdown.
That's not what I got from that at all. I was thinking, but the message I got from that was that if you don't play what I like, you're a slave to the meta.
I think you're
following my footsteps. I am the law.
Well, you're not a law until 2 days from.
Once I read all the cards, bro, and the Rift bouncing Bible drops, it's over, bro.
If you don't know Defy by the end of that, I'm shaving your head.
Next week we are going to be going over that probably, and this is the most I've ever wanted to plug for community engagement. Please let us know what you think about our boys' ratings after this event transpires.
How long do you think it's going to take me to read all the cards and rate them?
Put your guesses in the comments.
I don't know. I was kind of like, I was uploading the pictures to the tier list maker today, and I'm like, I don't think it's going to take me that long. But before I went in, I'm like,
over under? Kalshi.com over under.
I think I got it in 2 hours, bro.
2 hours?
I think I can read every card and retain it in 2 hours, bro.
And retain it's crazy.
And retain it.
Okay, bro's not going to notify. Bro's not going to notify.
Okay, well, that'll be fun to see how that turns out. But aside from that exciting news to look forward, I think we're kind of in agreement that you can really overcome the decision paralysis at the end of the day. Like once you lock in, really, like it's not like a I don't think it's like this debilitating thing where you're just like, I can't pick. just throw a deck at my face and I'll play it.
I'll play anything.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like you'll find something that clicks with you to some degree, either that be it because of the card pool given the colors, or the play style given the deck, or the legend given just you having an affinity for that champion in League. There's plenty of reasons to get behind a deck, and so I think we're all gonna have to do that eventually.
Stack it up.
But for the time being, we're just gonna hoe around and play all kinds of different decks.
Yeah, we're hoes.
Yeah. So we'll see how that pans out for us tomorrow at locals, and then next week you'll hear our tournament.
So remember, if you're a hoe, conquer.
Yeah. You can't just hijack an ending like that.
No, but if you are a hoe,
If you are a hoe, conquer
and
climb.